Hello,
Hello.
welcome back.
Welcome.
We are here after our cute little 3 month break hiatus, however you want to say it.
I think it's more of a break. I feel like a hiatus is a negative one.
Okay, we're going to say break. We've had a cute little hollybob away from the podcast for 3 months. Thank you for your patience in waiting for our return, and we're very, very, very happy to be back talking to you about all things fashion under the umbrella of making things, wearing things, and gender being fabulous in all ways. This episode is going to be about, I should also remember to introduce myself. My name is Chris.
And I'm John.
And this episode is going to be about creative burnout, how to recognize it, what you can do to combat it, how we cope with it, 'cause every creative has it. And remember to be kind to ourselves, so a few little kindness tips as well.
Love that.
So John, we've had 3 months off. What have you been doing for 3 months?
Well, we've had 3 months off. What have I been doing with my time? I have been working on a business plan, which is very exciting. Although it's not ready to be shared with all of you, it is still something that is in the works, which is very exciting.
That is very exciting.
And one day we will be here to talk about that. I'm sure.
Absolutely. That's a podcast episode waiting to happen.
Yeah, exactly. But I've been working on a business plan with my partner, stroke husband, which is very exciting. So it's nice to keep in the family and talk to somebody who I trust and value their opinion and their strategy and their skills.
Yeah.
So I feel very grateful for that.
Yeah, he's great.
Very grateful for that as well. What else? I have been working on a never-ending mature project, which has been nothing but wonderful, but it's also taken a very long time, a much longer time than expected. And for all of you out there who do like work, you would probably know what I'm talking about. But if you don't, and you're looking to get into that world, which you should, just bear in mind, not everything takes 6 weeks, and some things might take you 6 months. So I've been doing that, and I have been feeling very burnt out, which I think is how we came up with the topic of today's episode.
I mean, you and me both, babe. You and me both.
Yeah. Well, tell me about you. What have you been up to?
Gosh, we've the last 3 months have been like a whirlwind, really. Work, my professional. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this on the podcast, but I do two things essentially. By day, I work as an office manager for a very corporate company, very 9 to 5 type life, and then around that, I slowly kind of trying to build my brand and do fashiony things outside. Thank you. So my life is never ending as always. So the last 3 months has basically been more of that. Work has been really busy, but it's been really enjoyable, really fun. An office move, lots of type A organising, lots of getting things in the right order and getting things done, which has been very pleasing for my sensibilities. I've just finished which I will be posting soon, so keep your eyes out. A photo shoot.
Oh, I've seen behind the scenes. It is fantastic. Did you get the photos yet?
Literally yesterday.
Oh, okay. I can't wait.
Yeah. I'll show
exciting.
you. Yeah,
you're all going to love it. Okay, go on.
So exciting. What I'll say for now is it's on a vintage train, very vintage, very moody, but with my signature colour style. So get ready. So just sorting that has been, as I'm sure you know.
I know. It's like a full-time job.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many moving parts, especially when you're arranging everything yourself, which I know you are. Getting all that going can be a real ordeal.
Yeah. I was originally going to have 4 models. Just slimmed down to 2 in the end, just because of the nature of it.
Yeah.
The photographer, the location. My sister was my assistant for the day. It was
that's so nice.
Incredible. And then having a bit of a switch up at home, having a bit of a redeck in the flat, starting the proceedings with that. So it's been non-stop.
I know. Then you've been quite busy anyway. You were just in Venice.
I was just in Venice.
If you don't know already, Chris and his sister were on a fabulous holiday to Venice. Was it a month ago?
Oh, it was a month ago.
It looked amazing.
Almost exactly, actually. Yeah.
What were the highlights of that trip?
So we went when it was Carnival, and loads of masquerade balls happening, loads of people in full costume just wandering around the city. I don't actually know the logistics of that, whether people just do it or if they're paid by the city to do it, or if there's a company that I don't actually know. But wherever you went, there was a couple or a person or in the most outlandish, incredible costume.
Oh,
amazing. Like there was one guy who had a violin as a mask. It was.
Oh my God! Wow.
And so he had a violin as a mask. I think he's actually my favourite. He had a violin as a mask and a little hat thing. But the hat thing moved, and it was a piano and someone playing the violin. Like a little model, and it moved around. He had a cane that controlled it.
That's amazing.
Oh, it was next level. He looked so good.
That's very cool.
I can't even think of one highlight. We went to Murano Island, which is the home of glass.
Did you get anything?
I got an earring, a set of earrings.
Lovely.
Orange teardrop.
Oh, you were wearing it the other day.
I was, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize. Okay.
Yeah, and I got a ring. It was. He said what type of glass it was, but it was like a crystal type glass, so it's practically unbreakable. And because I'm very clumsy, I like smash my hands against everything. That's handy, but it's orange with a black swirl. And it's massive. Nice. Oh, it's gorgeous.
Like a bubble ring.
Kind of, yeah. It's huge. It's
amazing.
You know the one you have? I think it's like green set, the green stone set in gold. I think it's silver or something. It's quite a chunky ring you have. That size.
Oh yeah, of course. But it's turquoise. Yeah. It's in silver.
Yeah, and it's that size. Oh, it's just gorgeous.
Oh, amazing.
Oh gosh, what else? The food, obviously. We went to Florian Cafe, which is the oldest cafe in Venice. That was amazing. Just if you haven't been to Venice, please go. It is incredible. We went at the right time of year as well, so there was no flooding. There was none of the horrible stuff you hear about Venice, about sinking or whatever. Oh, it was just so good, and we were really lucky because it was meant to rain the whole time.
Oh yeah,
but it was sunny.
Oh, amazing!
Sunny and warm, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So yeah,
beautiful city.
Busy, but has a little hop across the islands.
Yeah, nice. Well, as I was saying, thinking we've been busy, but you've been traveling a little bit, which is lovely. I was also traveling, but it was boring. Back home to Toronto, which I love, but isn't going to Venice during Carnival. So.
No, but it's also not boring to go home.
No, but I feel like I really love going there, and for me it's really exciting, but I also don't really do too much there. It's just sort of like day-to-day activities with my family or friends that I grew up with. It's not like I'm going to theater and operas and all the things that you were doing. I'm not going to every restaurant. Like, it's a little bit routine. It's very exciting for me, but I can imagine for some it might be a bit. I want more.
Well, it's whatever recharges your batteries, isn't it?
But it was good. I got some really good cold weather. It's -20, which I love, by the way.
We've had this conversation. He loves it.
Yeah, exactly. Sunny every day. It was dry. It was great. I saw my family. I saw my friends. It was the first trip back home that wasn't revolving around work or planning a wedding. So it so it really was just a nice, relaxed time. I did have a few fittings to do while I was there, but combined that was 5 hours of work, like over 3 weeks. It was nothing. So it was great.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
It must be nice to get away and not have to work at the same time. I don't know how you do it.
It was nice, I have to say. I was very, very glad to just not have to rush all around picking up, fabrics and materials and fittings and all that kind of stuff. I did have, 2 fittings while I was there. They were really easy, a few minutes at a time, a little bit of sewing, barely anything. As I say, accumulation. The whole thing took only about 5 hours, and I really was there for 3 weeks. So I felt very blessed. It was nice.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And get good weather and good everything.
Also, just to be out of your normal space, right? Your normal routine. Exactly. Just having a bit of a switch.
It was lovely. It was great, and I really do love to go home. I mean, that is exciting. That was really nice and quite positive. And I've been back in London, and since I've been back, as I was saying, I've been working on a business plan, and I've been trying to get this couture job done, which I want done in a few weeks' time, and get it away forever. Not that I'm not enjoying it, because I am, but also I don't want to be looking at it anymore. I want to know that it's finished and it's with its owner.
But that ties in with the theme of the episode, right?
Well, that's exactly what I was just going to say. And in doing all these things in the last few months, I have severely noticed myself feeling unmotivated, feeling really tired, but not in like a depression kind of way, like where, there's this impending. Not that at all. It's just that I don't know, I feel like I'm not giving enough support to the people around me, and then I feel like I'm not necessarily supporting my own needs, or I'm letting myself down because I'm just not motivated. And I'm very excited to be working on a business plan, which is great, and I know what I want to do. Again, we will talk about that later. But it's one of those things where it's very difficult to move past the feelings that you're having. But also you think, oh, well, that's silly because I should be able to just do X, Y, and Z. But actually you can't. And you're sort of
Well, it's a feedback loop, isn't it?
Yeah, and you kind of figure out like what's a workaround. Like, okay, I just have to get on with things. Just get on with things. Then you don't do your best work, or you sit down in front of the drawing board or the machine or whatever it is that I need to do that day, and it's just, well, I could take 5 minutes and scroll on my phone, or oh, actually, I forgot, I have to make that phone call, and then like an hour goes by, and you haven't done anything, and then you're still sitting there thinking, I know I'm supposed to do something. I know I have this task. I have to get this done. But I can't be bothered. It's such an awful feeling.
It is a horrible feeling, but it's one that probably everyone who's listening, watching, however you're involved, will relate to, because as creatives, we are prone to it.
Yeah.
Because we get in these fevers of, oh, I've got all these wonderful ideas, or I want to do this, I've got that on the go, and I've got this plate spinning, what have you. That you actually kind of forget of how much energy each one takes.
Oh, absolutely.
And then before you know it, you're in this mindset of, I love what I do, but oh my God, is there a lot to do?
Absolutely.
And then you feel guilty because you're like, well, I'm doing something I love, I should enjoy it. And then you get stuck in a feedback loop of, I should be enjoying it. So you're trying to make yourself enjoy it. But actually what you're not doing is giving yourself rest to be able to enjoy it. And then you're not doing your best work because you're tired or burnt out, or what have you.
No, absolutely.
It's very understandable. I think it's recognizing the symptoms, right?
Yes, and I think I can't speak for everybody. I know for myself, like I can recognize those symptoms, and I just think to myself, like, you're really fortunate. You do what you love, snap out of it. You just got to get on with things. People tell you that as well, and I do think they're right. You just have to kind of move on. You get yourself out of that rut. But it's not always so easy.
No.
And then there's that feeling of, I know I should be doing something, but I don't feel that I can. And allowing yourself to accept that and realize that, if you did, I don't know, whatever you did away from to recharge is okay. But as you mentioned, then there's guilt surrounding it, like, well, it's my job. If I don't do it, I don't have my livelihood. Like, there's all sorts of
there's so many different variables that feed into it.
Oh, so it can be really tough. So I have to say, the last few months, like, I've really, I'd say suffer is strong. I'm not going to say I've been suffering, like, because I have been able to get out of bed and I have been able to do work, and it's all really exciting.
But suffering can also be a spectrum.
Fine, that's true. I don't know.
You don't have to be like death's door to be suffering. Like, suffering can be constantly overthinking and berating yourself.
Yeah,
because then you're stuck in that mindset of, not that I'm saying you're doing this, but,
no, I am.
But you're stuck in the mindset of, I could be doing more, but I'm not doing more, so I'm clearly not doing enough, or I'm not good at what I do, or what have you. You kind of get into this never-ending loop of.
Yeah, so I feel like that's sometimes I that way again. Human nature, I think it's absolutely
of course it is,
normal, but it doesn't make it.
Yeah.
And like, what would you recommend for somebody who's feeling that way to try to pull themselves out of it? Do you have any words of wisdom? You're typically good with these things.
Well, what can I say? I'm like an oracle. Mainly through experience, because I've usually done it 5 times over myself. Well, like you said just now, everyone's different, right? So everyone has different methods of getting out of their funk. For me personally, I switch up my environment.
Okay.
So if I'm going to use a real life example. So this photo shoot I was just doing.
Yes.
I did reach a little bit of burnout with prepping it because of everything else around. Like, it doesn't have to be creative to be influencing burnout, right?
No, of course.
So with everything going on with work and with the home life, and I don't go see my sister or whatever, like the holiday, like all these things that have taken time away from me doing what I needed to do, have influenced my sense of creative burnout. So I switch up my routine, or I switch up my environment. So I try not to do the same thing I have been doing to get myself out of it, because that's clearly not working at the moment.
Right. It's either contributing or it's just not affecting you.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'll go, okay, well, what am I not doing that could help? So I'll tell you what, me and my sisters, I'm very lucky to have this as an option, but I'm going to go around to my sister's with my fabric, and I'm going to cut it on her floor, or I'm going to sew on her table, and getting yourself into a whole different physical environment can actually switch up your mental environment.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that very much.
I also change. I don't want to say priorities, but it's kind of priorities. Like if, say, for example, that shirt I was making. If I'm like, oh god, I can't look at this shirt anymore. It's just driving me absolutely up the wall. I won't.
Okay.
I'll stop.
Right.
Because I know even if I need it done in 3 days, I'll just wait until something clicks. So what I mean by that is I will literally put it away, put it aside, to keep all the relative parts together, but keep it aside, and I will do anything else other than think about that shirt. I will spend a couple of hours gaming.
Nice.
I will go out for a coffee, see a friend, see my sister, talk to someone on the phone, do another task, like an admin-based task that needs a different mind process. Something that's going to get my brain out of that never-ending loop of, I'm not doing this right, I'm not doing this good enough, I'm not.
Right. Seems like you're sort of feeding your soul, but also you're ticking off boxes somewhere else, so maybe alleviating some mental pressure that might already be there.
Exactly, take the pressure off yourself.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because when you get into, I mean, again, I can't speak for you or anyone else listening, but when you get into that creative fever, all you see is that thing you want to do, or that thing you need to do. You go, oh god, I've got this piece, I need to cut out this, I need to sew that onto that, and then the next, you're thinking 3 jobs ahead at the same time. Like, once I've done this, I've got to cut this sleeve out, whatever it is. Take that mental pressure off yourself and give yourself a little bit of emotional grace, I suppose. That's what I would do.
Well, I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, for myself, I know if I were, let's say, in a designing space, and I've been here before and I hate this. I'm very much a planner. I know we've talked about this. We probably have. And even when I moved to London, which I know we have, like I had already mapped out 10 years of my life, which I was very pleased when I accomplished what I had set out to do. So it's a nice feeling. But if you can imagine planning so far ahead, it's what I like to do.
Yeah.
So when I can't do that, I don't like that feeling, which is fine. That's how my mind works. Nothing wrong with that. But so if I'm in a designing space and I know I need to come up with a range, let's say, well, here's something I've like actually lived through. So a range of footwear for a brand.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're designing, you need ladies' shoes, luxury, whatever season, blah blah blah. There are times when I find I really struggle to put anything down on paper. Again, a form of creative burnout. We've all been there. Fine. Yeah. But also there's a deadline. What are you going to do? You can't just turn around to a company or someone you work on a salary or whatever it might be and say, you paid me to do this work, but I just can't do it. Like, you can't do that. Yeah. So I've always found, I've always found for myself that in the case of the shoes, if I was really feeling that way and I'm like, sitting at the table and I've got my pencil in hand and I just can't get anything down, if I redesign or redraw, however you want to put it, things I've already done in the past,
that's good.
I always find that really helps me to get into the habit of, or sorry, not even the habit, the motions of, the movement of what needs to be with the pencil, how you're kind of connected to the paper, and because they're things that I know like the back of my hand, it's really easy to just keep drawing them and turn out as many as you might need to, then end up in a space where actually creative juices are flowing a little bit, my hand doesn't feel so rigid, I can really be successful with that. And that really works for me in that kind of space.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I do sort of agree with you about like a change of scenery. So it is nice to sort of pick up and move things around a little bit, or sometimes, at least if I can allow myself to, I will move on to a different task that's sort of within the task umbrella. So maybe I can't, I don't know, put that jacket together because I just can't physically do it. But I know that I can start fusing pieces, or I can start ironing something in preparation, or I can, cutting something out. And it might not be a change of scenery in terms of location, which I don't have the luxury for right now, or I probably would do that because it's really good right way. But it is a really good way for me, and potentially for others, to at least know that I'm moving forward with my task at hand, which is like a mental tick, which again, like alleviates the pressure, doesn't it? But it isn't sitting around doing the same thing that I feel that I'm struggling with in that moment.
Yeah.
And I always find
that's great.
Well, I always find that really helps me. And I also have to say, like, I do find talking about it really helps. But not in the sense of, meeting a friend and saying, I need your advice, I don't know what to do. Sometimes, for me, I might call up a really good friend, somebody who I know what Pat wants to hear about my day, I want to hear about their day, and just sort of say, like, this is what I'm working on, this is sort of how I'm feeling. They don't know what I'm working on. I walk them through it, and somehow talking about it and walking them through the process of like the project that I'm working on allows me to get back to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I always find that really helps me.
That is a top tip, because although as creators we're social people, when we work we're isolated.
Yes.
Because you're working on the thing you're working on.
Yeah, I might not say anything for days because I'm just in my own head working.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So because you're getting so focused on, I mean, I'm not a car person at all, but to use this as an analogy, working on a project is like working on an engine, and you could get stuck on a piston for days on end that you forget what the whole engine is supposed to look like.
No, absolutely.
So to talk it out with someone who's not connected has that like freedom of expression. It's almost like a soundboard, right?
Yeah, it works, I find, very well. I used to do it even when I was in high school and I was studying for a chemistry exam, or I don't know, whatever it was. Also, and I would find that if I was speaking to a friend or even a study partner, but like walking them through what needs to happen, all of a sudden it took all the pressure off.
Yeah, yeah.
So I know it's not quite the same thing. That always helps.
Well, it has the same theme. Like everything we've just said is about taking the pressure off.
Yeah, it does.
So your drawing thing that you mentioned just then, you doing something old or that you've already designed, that is actually taking the pressure off because you know how it's already been. That's not even what you do on that isn't going to affect the real life product.
No, there's no creativity there. It's already been there.
Exactly.
You're just creating it again on paper.
So there's no pressure to create something new, or there's no pressure to get something right, or the fear of failure, which can also be an instigator of burnout.
Absolutely.
Is I don't want to get started because then if I get started it could go wrong, but then it's going wrong because you're not starting it, and there's that whole kind of like chicken and egg situation.
Absolutely.
So taking that pressure off, the speaking it aloud thing that takes the pressure off. You know, it's seeming like a huge. I mean, we know this anyway, but a huge problem with creative burnout is feeling under pressure to create.
Yeah.
When you get stuck in that,
definitely,
it's tough.
No, definitely. And you mentioned like fear of failure.
Definitely.
And I think about things like that even quite often. It doesn't necessarily stop me from doing what I'm going to do. But even talking about a business plan, right? It's something I've wanted to for a very long time, and I've always had a reason why I couldn't do it. I had to be somewhere. I didn't want to in that point. It wasn't right for me. There's all these different things.
All these variables.
Right, but a lot of it is valid. It's not made up. But I think there's a big part of every single one of those reasons, which, as much as they were valid, also were linked to what if it doesn't work out?
Exactly.
And then for me, that extra step is, and then I have to. It's not about having to tell everybody in your whole life, because who cares about all of those people? But it's always that having to explain yourself, or me having to explain myself to the people who are closest to me. And
the fear of letting them down.
Yeah, exactly.
Part of your failure.
Exactly. And then sometimes it's easier to just not share what you're working on at all, ever.
Dangerous ground, though.
I know, right? But I mean, like, part of me thinks if you don't share with people, and you don't have to explain yourself, if things didn't work out the way you intended them to, and again, as a planner, I want them to go a certain way, right? So I'm not going to tell you that I'm, I don't know, building a house, which I'm not. But, what if it doesn't work out?
Yeah.
And then you can't then turn around 6 months later and say, oh, didn't you finish at home? And I have to say to you, well, I failed. Like, I don't want to have to do that. Yeah. So sometimes it is easier to not share. But then again, you don't want to get in a space where you don't have that open dialogue with people who care about you, because they only want to know that you're doing well. So it's a real.
I was just going to say is, if you don't share, the only thing that you're not doing is providing yourself adequate support, which will instigate burnout.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
So I can relate. There's no judgment-free zone, obviously. We all, as creatives, we all have that fear of failure inbuilt into us, because to give the world something you've made is such a vulnerable act, whether you're being paid for it or not. You're putting part of your mind, your essence into something you've made. Oh,
absolutely. It's like your children.
Exactly. No, very that. So then if there's ever a hint of like, oh God, if this goes wrong, I'm going to look like an absolute pillock, it's scary. Same thing with the House of Wincott thing that I'm doing. Yeah. It's terrifying, but I've always had it in me that I will give it a go. if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I'm just going to do it to my best authentic self, exactly how I want to do it. If it doesn't work out, fine. No. But I've given it a go.
Well, this is it.
But I think,
and good for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. But I think everyone, I mean, again, let us know, like collaboration and spirit of collaboration, of course, would probably relate to, I don't want to say anything because I don't want to look stupid if it goes wrong.
Yeah.
But actually what you're doing is increasing your chances of it going wrong, because somebody may have a really good point or a really good idea or a really good suggestion.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Or have a day or two free to help you do something that you need to do in order to get going further.
No, it's very true.
So we need to, I don't know if it's ingrained in us as creatives to think, oh, we have to do it all, but we do need to remember that although it's our thing, we're not alone.
No, of course. But also you don't want to get into that space where you are sort of manifesting a negative. Right? So you think, I don't want to share this for good reason, and I will stand by that. You know, you don't want to then have to explain yourself fine. But if you're constantly doing that and you're wondering why things aren't working out, then maybe it's because you're spinning everything sort of negatively. I guess, I don't know, would you say negative? But just that idea that, you know, well, this isn't going to work out. I'm still going to give it a try, but I know nothing's going to come of it. That's why I'm not going to share with anybody. But then if you already know that nothing's going to come of it and you don't want to share, then are you really doing yourself any favor?
Exactly. It's like you're manifesting the end before you've even begun, because you're assuming that you're protecting yourself from failure by not telling everyone. But what about if it was to be a huge success? People wanted to celebrate you.
Well, exactly.
It's kind of like you're robbing your closest, nearest and dearest of the opportunity to celebrate something you've done.
No, absolutely. And I know I've been guilty of doing similar things where I've not shared or I've not told people because I didn't want to, again, have to explain myself or what didn't work out, or I don't know, what if I decided to leave that job and it was, you know, but it's not, I don't know, I don't think it's really beneficial to the mind. I know we can't always help ourselves, but I do think it's the sort of thing to stop and think, why am I spinning this into a negative? Why am I taking this great opportunity that I, you know, this business I want to create, this job I might want to get, this collection I'm making, whatever it might be. And it's one thing to hold certain things back. Even like I said earlier, I don't want to share my business idea just yet. Not because I'm spinning it in a negative, but because it's not.
No, but that's also smart. Like, you don't have to share everything.
No,
in order for it to be valid. It's just don't share nothing if you need support.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with asking for support. I mean, you've got family and friends, people that are close to you, your chosen family, whoever it might be. And, you know, they want to see you succeed as much as you want to see them, right? So it's I think it would be likely to say that, you know, I want to see you do really great things, so wouldn't you want to see me do things?
Very that. Absolutely. Like, prime example of that very thing is for the shoot that I was just talking about. You know, I was cutting up that really scary fabric that I couldn't replace.
Yes.
The very first thing when we were on the phone and we were talking about it, the very first thing you said to me was, if you want some support in cutting it, let me know.
Yeah, exactly. And I meant it.
Of course, because you're a gem. And ultimately I was like, oh no, it's fine. I've got it planned out and it's going to be fine. I just need to actually start cutting. It's fine. And then we spoke about the chaotic nature of me cutting on the floor. But,
insane, but anyway.
You know, some of us just
people do it. I don't know how they do it. Like, almost
with great difficulty on the back.
When I think about how many people, I not to interrupt you, but how many people I know that we probably know in common as well, that, you know, are home sewists or hobbyists, whatever, or professionals that cut on the floor. It is crazy time.
But, you know, I don't have a big table.
I don't have a big table.
You know. Needs must.
Anyway,
so whip it out on the floor.
So you were saying that. Sorry, I totally cut you off.
Not at all. No, it's all good.
I was giving you support.
Yeah. So the very first thing you said was, if you want support cutting it, let me know. Or you were trying to. I think at some point you tried to provide a solution of, well, what if you tried it this way or whatever. That's the stuff I'm talking about. Because although I was fine without that support in that moment, we still talked about it. And that's the stuff that will ultimately help you get out of a creative burnout funk.
Absolutely.
Not thinking that you have to do everything and you have to do everything perfectly.
No.
So when I did start cutting that piece of fabric, I wasn't going to myself, God, if I don't cut this, it's going to be the end of the world. I'd be really annoyed because you can't get it again.
Exactly. It's irreplaceable.
But Will my life end? No.
No, but then knowing you and you're quite crafty, savvy, whatever. You're all those things.
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine if you had done a cut into this jacquard, that's what we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
And it was fraying, or it stretched, or something was wrong, that you would have thought, okay, how can I change this? How can I not waste these pieces?
Well, I actually did end up doing that.
Oh, well, there you go. So
there was a problem with the sleeve because the size of the piece wasn't exact to my pattern pieces. So what I had to do in the end was cut ever so slightly on diagonal, and then use the gaps in between to create another square to add on to the end of the sleeve.
Okay.
So then I turned it into a feature.
Okay, right, which is exactly the point I was trying to make. So thank you. So I think you're knowing you and like what you're capable of. I think that is exactly what you would do. You'd think, okay, how can I approach this situation so it's not a complete waste, not rip your hair out, and figure out what you need to do, which clearly you did, which not everybody is able to do. And I think sometimes you sort of think, okay, I need to take a step back because if I do one more thing, I'm going to regret it. Yeah. I find myself in that position more often than not. And sometimes it's not a burnout situation, but even just the other day, I was doing a collar on a jacket. It was looking really great. Everything was cut out, to precision or whatever. I was very proud of all of that stuff. The pieces everything was just coming together properly, looking really great. Finished the collar. It looked great. Yeah. But then I thought, something's wrong here. And I couldn't figure out what it was at first. And I realized that, and I don't even know how this happened. I still don't know how this happened. But for whatever reason, one notch was 5 millimeters wider than the other. And I don't know how. And I don't need to obsess over it. Obviously, something stretched, or I thought my cutting was perfect, but I still don't know.
Yeah, there's always something random,
And that, that aggravates my brain just because for me, things have to be like in order.
You're very exact.
Exactly. But so, and I was talking to my partner, and I was saying, like, well, can you see this? Because should I give this to the customer the way that it is? Like, is that wrong? Like if you don't see it, maybe I'm just seeing it because all I do is look at these things.
Yeah, you're so close to it.
Right. So we're looking. I don't see what's the problem. And then when I said right away, I said, "Oh yeah, you're right."
Yeah.
And then as the collar was wider, it was like, oh, but it shows even more. Like it wasn't working. Oh, and rather than diving into it and changing it and risking damaging it, I was frustrated and mad at myself. I did other things, left the flat, did whatever I needed to do, went to an appointment, came back like 5 hours later, sat down, got it done. It's fine. Like, but if I hadn't taken that little bit of a break away from it, sometimes the breaks are important.
So important.
Then I potentially would have not rushed it to finish it, but done it at the correct pace and still messed it up.
Well, because would have been working in frustration.
Exactly.
Because while working, in your mind, you would have been berating yourself for the fact you've had to redo it or refix it. Or
exactly. I can't believe I have to do this. I can't believe I'm so stupid.
Yeah, so you're not focusing on the task, you're focusing on the mistake.
Exactly.
So having that's what I was saying earlier about change your environment or change your mindset. Because that is what you need to do in those moments. Because it's like a refresh, right? It's like, what's that thing? I can't remember the term for it, but when the act of crossing a doorway naturally refreshes your mind. So that's why a lot of people, when they go to a different room, they forget why they've gone in there. Because crossing that threshold switches something in our brains ever so slightly. That we go, oh, we're in a different state now. Kind of the same thinking. So, this has gone wrong, or like this is annoying me, or if you carry on, I do it all the time. That's one thing I've definitely learned to go, hang on, I'm too close to this at the moment. I need to leave it for a bit.
Yeah, I'm getting better at doing that.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just think I'm in the zone, so I might as well just push through. And it's funny, I don't have a problem, I don't like to, but I don't have a problem working until midnight. Normally I have a rule the machine switch off at 10 p.m. at the latest. Sometimes you don't have a choice. That doesn't stress me out, and I can do some of my best work. But it could be like 9 o'clock in the morning, and I notice this difference in the collar, and I think, no, I have to walk away from that.
Yeah.
Like, but I wouldn't have done that in the past, but I'm doing that more now. It's not worth it.
No, it's really not.
And unless you have a very specific deadline, which I appreciate sometimes you all do, who am I rushing it for? Like, why am I risking all of the hard work that I put in? Because it had to be done in that moment.
Exactly. You almost do yourself a disservice.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not giving yourself the breathing room.
Well, but then you think that after, like, if you had not taken that step away and not break for 5 minutes or an hour or a day or whatever it is, and you were to damage something, and then that part you can't correct, then you're so much worse off.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've all been there where you've like, I don't know, clipped the sleeve and you're like, oh no, what am I going to do? And you like make it fit, but then it's not what you had intention, or it's a square shoulder, and like, yeah, fine, somebody else wouldn't necessarily see that or know to look for it, but you know it's there. I hate that, but I mean, we've all been there. But to avoid those situations is just the way I think we need to go forward.
What's that saying? Angels rush in. No, fools rush in where angels fear to tread.
I have never heard that before.
Maybe not.
No.
It's basically angels are the wiser ones, so they will take us. They won't rush into anything because they don't want it to go wrong. Fools will rush in because they're not thinking it through properly.
Oh, okay. It's like slow and steady wins the race.
Very that. Yeah, it's like you don't. The more you do in haste, the more likely you are to ruin it.
Oh, absolutely. And again, I feel like we've all been there.
Yeah, very much.
Rushing to a deadline, trying to get things sewn, especially with fashion.
Yeah.
But it's not like, you know, you're on, I don't know, a Paris runway where there's a whole team of people pinning and hand sewing.
Exactly.
And it's just you. It can be a real nightmare.
It was like the shoot I was saying I was doing a couple of weeks ago. Doing what we do and trying to create a creative brand and work on what I want to work on alongside a full-time corporate career is tough.
I don't know how you do it.
Because time-wise, you're so limited. You either get weekends or evenings. I'm fortunate enough that in my current workplace, we have a 9-day fortnight working with them. So every other Friday I have off.
Yeah.
In my calendar, I have blocked that day off as House of Wincott only. So I don't do anything else on that day. Never plan anything in other than House of Wincott.
That's great.
So I know that 1 day a week, every 2 weeks, without fail, I've got dedicated time.
Yeah.
And every weekend.
They're waiting for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That takes the pressure off immediately.
Yes.
And then obviously every weekend, if I'm free, then I've got something like the shoot. I'm behind the machine and I'm working away. But even then, even though I had the deadline of, I've booked this location to have this shoot and I've booked the photographer and I've got my models waiting and I need to finish the garments that I'm doing, but I've lost time this week because of all the things I was saying at the beginning, like work or, you know, helping the family or sorting the flat or whatever it is. You can't dedicate every hour outside of work to the creative life, so you have to juggle. So working towards a deadline has been really tough. But even with that, I really consciously try and make sure that I don't want to say overdo it, but I don't overwork myself. I don't, right, I'm going to be up until 1 a.m. doing this because I just don't have the time otherwise. Or, you know, I'll block out 3 evenings in a row. I won't do anything else other than finish this or sew that or iron this or whatever. Because I know I will get it done. It will just be at the pace I can do. I can't do more than I can physically do, so don't beat myself up about it.
No, because otherwise that's not a sustainable model. You can't be killing yourself, burning the candle at both ends, doing mediocre work, whether it be for your corporate day job or for your house of income, or for both for that matter.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, how are you benefiting yourself with that anyway?
Well, because both will suffer. Because I'll be too tired for work, so my job will suffer.
Exactly.
And then because of that, I'll be too stressed because I'll be catching up with work, and then I won't have the energy to dedicate into House of Wincott.
Exactly. So you can't live that way.
No. So that's why I'm very adamant to give myself the grace that all creatives should give you.
Yeah.
Or give yourselves with creative burnout is very real, and if you're not careful, if you end up in full burnout, it can actually take 3 years to recover.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of, and easier said than done, I suppose, but you have to know yourself and recognize the signs so that you can be kind to yourself.
You absolutely do, and as you say, it's easier said than done, but it is really good to at least recognize that. And if you can spot the signs in advance and think, oh, I'm feeling a certain way, or my work is struggling in a certain way, or I'm struggling in a certain way. You know,
even if you do one thing, even if you do one thing that's different to what you normally would do, like leave the house for 10 minutes, go put the kettle on and listen to jazz for 20 minutes, whatever it is, even if it's that one thing, you don't have to go do the whole go somewhere else or whatever we were saying.
And take some time and think about your loved ones, your people that you care about. Like reach out to them, like go see somebody, ever change of scenery, like
get a night's sleep.
Yeah, exactly. People just disregard sleep so much.
Yep.
I could never understand when I was a student in university, high school was very different. All these people that would pull like all-nighters and almost want to, like as if that was somehow like
an achievement.
Yeah. And I think, oh no, like I need my sleep.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Like this zombie life is not for me. Like if I need my sleep, I'm not.
I never understand that. It just never work. But
so on that note,
yes, I was going to say we have something exciting to say. What are you thinking?
What were you thinking?
Well, I was thinking it's a year since we started our podcast.
Yes.
What were you thinking?
Well, I was going to say, in the spirit of that, what would be your top tip to end the podcast on?
Oh,
for the viewers of either what not to fall in the trap of, or how you recover from burnout. If you asked me at the beginning.
Oh well, I mean, I don't really know what a hot tip is. I would just say I agree with a lot of the things that we've been discussing. Scenery, talking things out with people that you trust, that you feel would want to hear from you, and maybe give you good feedback, or at least just be there to listen, and really just try to keep going with your creative tasks, but maybe in a different area. So you're making a series of things, move from one to the other, do something that you are familiar with so that you're not hitting a wall. Find you don't know how to, put an invisible zipper on silk, like whatever it might be, then do something that you do know how, that's there waiting to be done, so you're at least taking things off so that you aren't creating a big pile of jobs that need to be done. Like those little things will at least push you forward.
Or do something that won't matter if it goes wrong.
Exactly, and it just takes some of the pressure off.
Yeah.
So I would say that.
Do you feel that because you were saying the last couple of weeks you've been feeling like the burnout, do you feel that you have been doing that and you're on your way out of it?
I have been doing that to my best ability. I can think of, I won't bore you now, but several examples where I couldn't move forward or didn't want to move forward on something, so I left it to one side and did a whole other job that was needed later on. When I got to the later on point, it was already done, so I was that much further ahead. Yeah. Which makes me feel good, which helps with the way that I...
And the positivity reinforces the good stuff. And
correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Great. Rewiring your brain.
Yeah. It's really important. And I know it is always easier, thank you. It is easier said than done, but it is a big part of us, like the way we're wired, and I think it's finding something that works for you in that sense, that can just take a bit of the pressure off. We all put too much pressure on ourselves anyway, especially in the creative space. If you can find that, if you can make that work for you. So I would say
wise words.
Yeah, thanks.
But you are correct. It is exciting that
it has been a year.
It has been a full year. We've been doing this podcast for a whole year.
I know. Welcome to season 2.
Season 2, F1 people. I feel like we should do something to celebrate.
I know. Well, I'm thinking we will plan ahead for our next recording.
Yeah.
And perhaps we can do a celebratory thing during that one.
I'm so down.
Maybe I'll make a cake. Happy anniversary.
You don't know how big that is, because John's cakes are next level. They're
What's your favorite? Red velvet still?
Red velvet is actually my favorite cake. Well remembered.
Well, I made you one.
You did, and it was incredible, and loved it. But whatever you make will be glorious.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll have time to make it if I can get this away.
But remember, no pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Making a cake is never any pressure. I can do that in my sleep.
That could be the thing that you're refreshing your brain on.
Maybe.
You take yourself out of something to do something new.
Yeah, sometimes I do that, and like, I should just make dinner early. Because again, it's a thing that needs to be done. And it means that I'm still keeping busy, and as we've discussed, and we won't get into it, I like to keep things going all the time.
He loves spinning plates, this man. It's incredible.
I am at my best when I have a lot on the go, which is very interesting, because I love my rest and I love to sleep.
True,
but they are contradictory.
They are.
But they do work for me.
But you're just that person. You love to be on the go.
Okay, so maybe we'll have a big anniversary cake.
Yeah, we'll do something. If there's any ideas or any thoughts or anything you guys would like to, maybe we could do like some kind of live.
Oh, we could do a live. I mean, we could do like a live on social where you're at home and I'm at home. And
exactly. That's what I was thinking.
Like that, and just have a conversation. conversation.
Yeah.
But then I don't know that would necessarily be about a topic, and I feel like that would be more just what's been going on day to day.
Yeah.
You know,
That'd
like
be fine.
maybe when you're renovating your home.
Okay, we're going to put a pin in this. We'll work it out. If there's anything you guys want to see for our anniversary or talk about or discuss, or maybe you want to revisit an old episode,
Yeah, let us know.
an old topic.
Anything you're like dying to know about us.
Yeah.
I feel like we've shared a lot. But, you know.
We are classic oversharers. Love that. Happy 1 year anniversary, guys.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Very
Oh, I can't believe we're doing the year. That's actually
I know.
mental.
I know.
What a time to bring it back on. The sun is back out.
Oh, I know. The weather's been so beautiful. Like, I can see out the window. There's not a cloud in the sky.
I'm so happy. I hate the cold weather. But on that note,
it's been so good to, you know, get back into it. And it's always hard to talk about these kinds of things because you don't want to say the wrong thing, but also you want to be helpful, but you also don't want to like make yourself vulnerable. But it is really good to just
because even if one of you guys has been helped or reassured that you're not alone in thinking or feeling the same way that we do, and we have every creative has creative burnout in a different way or in some way or however, or even the same way. Hearing other people can sometimes be enough to reassure you to move forward.
Absolutely.
So being vulnerable is a part of recovering from burnout. Definitely. So well done you.
Thank you.
Well done us.
Well done us. Anyway.
Absolutely. Thank you for listening in for season 2, episode 1.
Oh, welcome back. So excited to see all of you. Well, see all of you.
Yeah. I can actually see all of you because I've got a camera in all your homes.
Yeah.
We, as John said, we're going to be doing episode 2 of season 2 in a few short weeks. We will post about what that's going to be about and when it's going to come out, etc. But until then, thank you for tuning in.
Yeah. Have a good day. You know, look after yourselves, and if you need anything,
and each other,
reach out to Chris.
Yeah, reach out to us. Keep an eye on John's Insta for his couture stuff because it's
thank you.
It's glorious.
I'll have to show you that thing after.
Yeah, we're going to wrap up so you can show me. See you next time, people.
Yes. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.